Wow, great weekend of basketball all around the country. I had a great weekend at the Lithia Classic. We're going to talk about all that because Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Hey, welcome Monday morning. Get up, get up. Hey, before we start, I want to thank everybody at Oregon Tech for the Lithia Classic. I want to thank Lithia for sponsoring it. It's a great tournament. I've been around it a few years now. Always a lot of fun, always great teams. This year was really special. We had obviously Oregon Tech. Arizona Christian came. Boy, they put on a great show. Southern Oregon, they're a really tough team. They're going to be one to reckon with. And then the Linfield Wildcats, they're a D3 school up by Portland. They played very well all weekend as well. Thank you to Linfield for coming down. But we'll talk more about that classic. There was a couple of real good games, and they were fun. Thanks again to all the coaches and everybody who is involved. Thank you. Okay, let's go through the top 25, and we'll focus on the conferences as we go through. So we'll go up by top 25 and by conference. So we'll go conference by conference. So we're going to start with number one, Langston. They got back into the win column. They beat Oklahoma Panhandle 64-61. So Langston moves to 4-1 now. Darius Hughes, he had 16 points, 3 rebounds. McKinney, he had 15 points, 6 rebounds. Langston is going to host Southwestern Christian tonight. Number 23, Oklahoma City, again sticking with the Sooner. On Saturday, they beat University of North Texas at Dallas by 2 points, 75-73. Big win, though, because Oklahoma City now, they're 6-0. Again, this was the doormat of the Sooner last year. I think it's a really exciting story. Avery Jackson turning in. I mean, he's a great ball. He's a star. 30 points, 3 rebounds on Saturday. And Clayton Jewell, 20 points, 10 rebounds for the double-double. So they go to 6-0. They're going to host College at the Ozarks tonight. Wow, look at that. I can't spell college. Hey, speaking of Avery Jackson, if I can get this slide. There we go. He's now moved into 10th place all-time for the Oklahoma City scoring list. This is the NAIA. Remember, Oklahoma City was D1 for quite a few years, but of the NAIA players who played at Oklahoma City, he is now number 10 in the all-time list. Congratulations to Avery Jackson. The Sooner Conference, let's look at the rest of the games in there. John Brown beat College of the Ozarks. Nelson, good win for them. They beat Mid-America Christian. Central Christian beat Wayland Baptist. And we talked about Oklahoma City and Langston. Okay, so let's move to number 2, the College of Idaho. They had that much-anticipated game with the Masters. I didn't get to watch it. It looked like a physical game. Both these teams are big and physical. College of Idaho came up a little bit short on the road, but nothing to hang their head about. That's a good team, and you lose by 4 on the road. That's not bad. 71-67, congratulations to the Masters. We'll talk more about the scoring when we get to the Masters. But for College of Idaho, they go to 2-1. They're going to have their Domino's Classic now, and they're going to host Carroll on Friday. Number 18, Oregon Tech. We talked about them with the Lithia Classic. On Friday, they played Linfield. They beat them 107-75. Jamison Guerra, he had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. He's a great point guard. Keegan Shivers, 15 points, 6 rebounds. And then on Saturday, they played Arizona Christian. They fell. Oregon Tech fell 97-83. Arizona Christian is very good. They shot the heck out of the ball in the first half. They shot 65% from 2 and from the field, or from 3. And they ran up a 15, 18-point lead on Oregon Tech in the first half. And Arizona Christian is such a defensive team. They're one of the strongest defensive teams I've ever watched. Oregon Tech could not overcome it. So, I'm sorry, Oregon Tech plays Simpson on November 26th. LC State, they played 2 games this weekend. They played No, I think they played two. They played Carroll on Friday. They were over at Butte. They beat Carroll 86-79. Alton Hamilton, 25 points, 8 rebounds. Every week I tell you how good that guy is. He is good. Taden King, he has 16 points, 4 rebounds, and then on Saturday they they fell to Montana Tech. We'll talk about it more when we get to Montana Tech, but Montana Tech hit a 3 at the buzzer. Lewis Clark had hit a free throw to put them ahead with, I think, 4 or 7 seconds or something, and a guy hit a 3 to win the game basically at the buzzer. So LC State goes to 4-1, and they're going to host Walla Walla on November 26th. So other action in the Cascade Conference: Montana Western beat Multnomah. St. Martin's beat Evergreen in kind of the Olympia rivalry up there in Washington. Bushnell, they beat Portland Bible and beat them. Warner Pack, they beat Montana Western on Saturday. Good win for Warner Pack. Good to see that. We talked about Montana Tech. The Masters beat College Idaho, and Arizona Christian we talked about. Okay, number 3, Indiana Wesleyan. They didn't play this weekend, but they'll travel to Huntington on Wednesday to kick off Crossroads play, and they are 6-0. Sticking with the Crossroads, Huntington, they beat Cornerstone on Saturday, 82-78. They hosted that game. Cornerstone, obviously a very good team out of the Wolverine Hoosier. Lane Sparks, 21 points, 3 rebounds. Max Gizzy, he had 17 points. So the Foresters are 7-0. And they are going to host Indiana Wesleyan Wednesday to kick off Crossroads play. Hang on to your hats for that one. Number 21, Grace College. They beat St. Xavier 102-80. Gage Sefton, the sophomore from Blackhawk Christian, is really coming into his own. 30 points, 7 rebounds. Ian Roush, this guy is so consistent. I don't even have to change his totals. I'm serious. The guy's 20 points, 5 rebounds. 20 points, 5 rebounds. But he's Mr. Consistency. But it's really good to see Gage Sefton do that. He's just a young guy, and boy, he's turned into a great basketball player. So Grace, they go to 4-2, and they're going to host Marion on Wednesday to kick off Crossroads play. So other games in the Crossroad, boy, a really good game. Marion got beat by Rochester in overtime. Big win for Rochester Christian. Bethel took care of Holy Cross, kind of a crosstown rivalry there. Spring Arbor beat Concordia, Michigan. Mount Vernon Nazarene beat Michigan Dearborn these were on Friday. And then on Saturday, Rochester Christian won again. They beat Mount Vernon Nazarene. So they beat 2 Crossroad Christian teams over the weekend. Goshen beat Clary. St. Francis beat Indiana Tech. We'll talk more about that. And then Marion came back on Saturday and beat Michigan Dearborn. Okay, here's Arizona Christian. I want to talk about this game. This Southern Oregon game was crazy. One of the best college basketball games I've ever watched. So it was pretty tight. Really, Southern Oregon had them in trouble at the end. I think somebody said they were up 4 with 35 seconds, or no, up 8, or it was either 8 or 7 that Southern Oregon was up with 35 seconds. But Arizona Christian got a couple turnovers, and then they were down 3 with about 12 seconds to go, Arizona Christian was able to get another steal on the inbounds pass. And so with like 10 or 12 seconds to go, the game was a 3-point game, and this is what happened. That was Lorenzo Wright. He canned that 3. Southern Oregon took the ball out with like 2 or 3 seconds to go, and Arizona Christian was able to keep them from scoring, so they won that game. It says 93-89. They must have got fouled at the very end and went to the line, but it was a great basketball game. And then on Saturday, Arizona. No, we don't want that again. And then on Saturday, Arizona Christian took on Oregon Tech. Arizona Christian just put on a shooting clinic in the first half and then just won the game with defense in the second half. S.A. Onakpomo, 19 points, 6 rebounds. Trent Hudgens was fantastic. 25 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He just almost got to the rim at will. Well, he is tough. We talked to Lorenzo Wright after that Southern Oregon game, and let's take a listen real quick.
Lorenzo Wright, Arizona Christian, again, big win against Southern Oregon here at Danny Miles Court. Close game, physical game. Just talk a little bit about the emotions, part of the emotions of that game.
We started off big against them, and then they ended up building a comeback, which you feel me rattled us a little bit. But
hey guys, can you let him out? Sorry about that, Lorenzo.
No, you good.
Keep going, Joe. Go ahead.
We just ended up finishing the game.
Yeah.
We always practice hard, but we ain't come out. We came out kind of slow towards halftime, and then at the end we just picked it up.
Yeah, I thought you came out really, really fast. You were physical. You really shook them at the start, but then they kind of got the tone of the game, and they kind of matched your physicality, and then it was a real dogfight. I thought for up till for the rest of the game, it was close and a dogfight.
All right. Yeah, it was a dogfight. They was a tough team for sure. But we just had to come out with the win.
I was just telling Anthony, to me, this reminded me of the Carroll game. You struggle a little bit during, you're on the road, struggle a little bit, but then you fought back, you tied it up, and then you kind of took control in overtime. Did it feel a little bit like that?
Yeah, it felt it's kind of the same for sure.
Yeah.
Coach ended up drawing a good play. We ended up executing it. We hit the shot, and then we went to overtime. I think we just knew he was gonna get it.
That was a big time 3 there at the end.
I appreciate it.
That was a big boy shot.
Appreciate it.
You guys are turning into total warriors. You go out to Billings, you beat Rocky Mountain. You go to Helena, you beat You come here to Oregon, you beat Southern Oregon. I mean, you beat Carroll over in at the Salida, wherever the Masters is. You guys are just piling them up on the road. Does that make the team a little tighter?
Yeah, it's for sure making us stronger. We just building chemistry each and every day.
Yeah.
We've been on the road a lot, so it's just bringing us more together. Yes, sir.
Lorenzo, pleasure to meet you. I really enjoyed watching you play.
Sir, appreciate
Lorenzo Wright, Arizona Christian.
Hey, thanks a lot for Coach Rudder and for giving me access and for Lorenzo to come up there and talk to us. I misspoke. So when they hit that 3, it tied it up, and then it put that game into overtime, and then Arizona Christian won that Southern Oregon game in overtime. It was close during the overtime, but it just felt like Arizona Christian controlled the overtime. Anyway, it was a big win. Lorenzo Wright, as I said, that was a big boy shot. So the Masters, number 10, they beat College of Idaho, as we talked about. Quincy Phillips, 21 points, 3 rebounds. Caleb Lowry, he had 12 points, 9 rebounds. So the Masters now, they go to 6-1. They're going to host Bethesda on Tuesday. So let's take a look at the GSAC on Friday. Westminster beat OUAZ. Rocky Mountain, they beat Benedictine Mesa. On Saturday, Benedictine Mesa fell again to Providence out of Montana. Hope beat Bethesda on Saturday, and Westcliff beat Life Pacific. Number 5, Georgetown, they go to 6-0. They beat West Virginia Tech on Friday, 68-62. Jabian Spikes, he had 22 points, 3 rebounds. Tay Dozier, 18 points, 5 rebounds. So they're going to host Shawnee State on Tuesday. Sticking with the Mid-South, Freed Hardeman on Saturday, they defeated Johnson 82-64. Peyton the Law, he had 20 points, 5 rebounds. Mackay Vassell, he had 20 points, 9 rebounds, just missing the double-double. So Freed Hardeman, they go to 6-1, and they're going to travel to Fisk on Tuesday. Number 16, the Cumberlands, again, sticking with the Mid-South. They defeated Virginia Lynchburg 129-52. I told you this Virginia Lynchburg group, I'm not even sure what level they are, they're making the round, all these NAIA teams. And boy, they're pretty gutsy because they just keep going out there and keep getting it handed to them. But you can't fault them for that. Ryan Davidson, 24 points, 9 rebounds. Anthony Johnson, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. And so the University of the Cumberlands now, with this win, is 7-0, and they travel to Brescia on Friday. So let's take a look at the Mid-South. Indiana Southeast beat Campbellsville. Bethel, Tennessee style, they beat Midway in overtime. West Virginia Tech beat Bethel, again, Tennessee style, on Saturday. Midway beat Cumberland on Saturday. And Lindsey Wilson beat Cincinnati Claremont on Saturday. LSU Alexandria going down to the Red River Conference. They're number 6 in the country. They beat Texas A&M Texarkana 86-71. Cashy Nat, a cool 20 points, 9 rebounds. E.J. McQuillan, 15 points, 4 rebounds. So the Generals, they go to 5-0, and they're going to host Texas College on Tuesday. They are red hot and rolling. I wouldn't want to play them right now. Number 14, Louisiana to LSU Shreveport. They fall again, 2 in a row. They fall to Jarvis Christian. Brandon Darravine, 18 points, 2 rebounds. Jordan Clark, 13 points, 6 rebounds. So Jarvis Christian out-rebounded LSU 37-23. Ouch! Shreveport will host Texas College on Thursday. They desperately need a win. You got to get a win, Coach. So the Red River Conference on Saturday, Our Lady of the Lake beat Louisiana Christian. Paul Quinn beat North America. Xavier beat Texas A&M San Antonio. And Southwest beat Hudson Tilliston. Number 9, Montana Tech jumping over to the Frontier Conference. On Friday, they beat Cal Maritime 102-58. A pesky group, that Cal Maritime. They platoon 14 people, and they just double team, and they fly all over the court. They guard you 94 feet off makes, misses, off out of the concession stand. I mean, they're just run like crazy, but they expend a lot of energy. But they fell big to Montana Tech. Keely Bake, he had 16 points, 2 rebounds. Michael 16 points, 2 rebounds. So they go to 6-0 because on Saturday they defeated LC State 85-83. This is the game I told. So LC State, I think with 4 seconds left, hit free throws to put them up by 1. And then Braden Cook, he hit a 3-pointer at the buzzer for the Montana Tech win. Man, talk about a big boy shot, huh? So they're going to travel to UC Merced on Wednesday. So let's look at the rest of the Frontier. Rocky Mountain this is on Saturday. Put them backwards, Friday. Friday, Bennett started over. On Friday, Rocky Mountain beat Benedictine Mesa. Providence beat Northwest Indian College. Montana Tech, we talked about. Montana Western beat Multnomah in overtime. On Saturday, Rocky Mountain beat Northwest Indian College. Providence beat Benedictine Mesa. Carroll beat, before mentioned, Cal Maritime. I'm not kidding. They double team you when you go to get a popcorn. Warner Pack beat Montana Western, and we talked about the Montana Tech game. Jumping over to the G-Pack, Concordia University, they fell to Morningside at Seward. So Concordia fell at home. It's a big rivalry, though. 95-88. Joey Scoff, he lit it up, 26 points. Aiden Vanderloo, 21 points. And Dan Brocale, 20 points. I think Morningside is 5-0 now. Concordia goes to 3-1. Concordia is going to travel to Dordt on November 23rd. That's a tough trip into Dordt. Everybody talks about how tough it is to go into Dordt, but Concordia's got to get a win. Number 12, Northwestern, sticking with the G-Pack. They beat Mount Marty. The Van Kalsbeek brothers went wild. 53 points between them. Look at that. I'm assuming they're brothers. They might be cousins. Alex Van Kalsbeek, 30 points, 9 rebounds. Jesse Van Kalsbeek, 23 points, 5 rebounds. Man, that's crazy. So they go to 5-0 at Northwestern. They are really good. That's a tough place to play. It's a beautiful gym. They're going to travel to Dakota Wesleyan on Wednesday. Talk about tough places to play. You got to go to the Corn Palace. All those, everybody in Mitchell, I think it's required that they go to those basketball games. And the students are just crazy there. Anyway, so number 12, Northwestern, they go to 5-0. They're going to play Dakota Wesleyan. Okay, so let's take a look at the rest of the GPAC. Waldorf beat Hastings on Saturday. Dakota Wesleyan beat Doane. Midland beat Briarcliff. Briarcliff's really struggling. Dort beat William Woods, as we mentioned earlier. Central Baptist, they were idle, but they're going to host William Woods on Thursday. They're 5-1. But taking a quick look at the American Midwest on Saturday, Crowley's Ridge beat Brescia. Columbia beat Webster University, and Dort beat William Woods. Going down to the Sun Conference, Florida Memorial, they fell to Southeastern. Huge win for Southeastern. Ahmed Johnson, he had 22 points. Joshua Blasquez, he had 15 points for Southeastern. So Florida Memorial now, they're 5-1, and it's not going to get easier because they host Warner on Wednesday. Sticking with the Sun for a second, I want to say congratulations to New College, 6-1 in their non-con to start their very first NAIA men's basketball season, and they go into Sun Conference play this week. Congratulations, Andrew Wingreen and the staff, Drew Stutz and the rest of the staff for a great start. We'll see how the season turns out. Number 17, Oklahoma Wesleyan out of the Kansas Conference. They defeated Tabor 79-66. Jaden Litsky, 16 points, 11 rebounds. Dylan Phillip, 11 points. So they go to 4-2, and they're going to host Friends on Wednesday. Let's take a look at the rest of the KCAC. Friends beat Evangel. Sterling beat York. Avila beat Bethany in overtime. St. Mary beat Bethel, Kansas version. Ottawa beat Kansas Wesleyan. And Southwestern beat McPherson. Baker University, they are number 19. They beat, they beat Clark 89-70. Ahmed Magoob, he had 17 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. And Quentin Harvey, 32 points, 6 rebounds. Baker goes to 5-1, and they're going to host Park on Wednesday. Hey, congratulations to Quentin Harvey. He set the program's single game record for most threes in a game with 8. That's ringing him up, man. 8. So let's take a look at the rest of the Heart. Peru State beat Culver Stockton. Park beat Mount Mercy. William Penn beat Central Methodist. It sounds like William Penn's been down a couple seasons. Sounds like they're might be coming back. Mid-American Nazarene, they get back in the W column with the win over Grandview. And Graceland beat Missouri Valley. Life University, boy, the top 25 curse really got them. They lost 2 straight. The Mobile came to life and just pounded them, 81-49. So Life goes to 5-2. So in that game, number 24, Mobile is who beat them. Traylon Smith, he had 17 points. Big Ezra McKenna, 11 points, 11 rebounds. So Mobile, they go to 5-1. And they are going to travel to Southern University in New Orleans on Wednesday. Let's take a look at the rest of the Southern States Conference. Abraham Baldwin Ag, they beat Point 75-70. Middle Georgia State beat Thomas. Faulkner beat Blue Mountain. And William Carey beat Tennessee Southern. Tennessee Southern has been struggling this season. Indiana Tech, number 25. They had that crosstown rivalry game with St. Francis. They fell 85-64. Brandon Northern and Luke Almodovar both with 20 points for St. Francis. So Indiana Tech goes to 1-3, and they're going to play. They're going to start WAC play on Wednesday against Lawrence Tech. Lawrence Tech is very good, so Indiana Tech needs to recover quickly. Taking a look at the Wolverine Hoosier over the weekend. On Friday, as we mentioned, Rochester Christian beat Marion. Concordia fell to Concordia, Michigan version fell to Spring Arbor. And we mentioned already Mount Vernon Nazarene beat Michigan Dearborn. On Saturday, we talked about that. Goshen beat Clary. Siena Heights beat Defiance College. Madonna, they got a win. They needed it. Penn State Greater Allegheny. And Governor State beat Aquinas. Hey, one other thing I wanted to mention, we want to join the Spring Arbor community in wishing legendary coach Bill Bachwitz a 86th birthday. Happy birthday, Bill. Hey, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you joining us and look forward to catching you up again tomorrow. We're pretty much now back into the one Monday through Friday. We're focusing, as always, we'll focus on the top 25 and the conference races. And also send me any news or information about your program. Tag me on the X and we'll get it on the show. I appreciate it. Get out and support your local NAIA school because you know why. It's the best entertainment value in America. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.